Welcome back for another episode of One Page Wednesday, where we break down real sales pages from real Samcart members. Samcart is built to create beautiful sales pages that serve as the cornerstone for your entire online business. One simple page built with one simple tool that showcases your offer, converts visitors into paying customers, and then doubles or triples the value of every new order you bring in. And today, I'm going to break down a sales page from Coco Alicius. Coco is a member of Samcart working through the One Page Masterclass, a special bonus training that helps people write killer sales pages that sells their stuff. Coco has been in our Facebook group taking feedback from other members and making changes to her sales page. Well, last week, she shared this. Coco got that very first sale simply by sharing her new Samcart sales page into a Facebook group. And today, we are going to dive in and take a look at what Coco has put together here. I will pick out what I think is working, what changes I would make, and talk about where Coco can go from here to keep that momentum rolling on her brand new business. Let's dive in. All right, Coco, let's kick into it with this edition of One Page Wednesday, where we're going to break down this page. So let's start by just kind of getting into, what we are looking at here. Let me go ahead and click back. I'm going to scroll down the page some, and basically what Coco is a creative. For anybody who's not Coco and watching this video, the offer here is called the Multi-Genre Artist Creativity Tool Workbook. And so definitely can be kind of specific, of course, but it is essentially for artists as a way of unlocking creativity, getting back in the zone. I think we all can actually kind of get there, right? But this is Coco's book here. So the Multi-Genre Artist Creativity Tool Workbook, how to create a space tailor-made for you. And so basically how to, get back in the zone, get back into kind of the creative mindset and getting past some of those roadblocks and stuff. So that's the offer. So let's kick right into it, where I want to make sure, let me pull up some of the notes I had. Okay, awesome, cool, here we go. So it all starts with the headline, right? Is your creativity blocked? I think that is perfectly good. I think generally speaking, having blocked creativity is where it's what you're looking to solve, right? I think that's generally pretty good. What I will say is that look at the screen right now, right? This is the real estate you have when someone first lands on your page. And so having this big image down here that's kind of cut off, and I kind of can't see anything, and this headline is probably about twice as big as it needs to be in terms of just how much vertical, space is taking up, is I think you can do away with a lot of this stuff, and I think you could, because what's right under here, and let me just scroll down, is another fairly large headline in terms of generally just literally the space. Obviously, there's a lot of words here too. But you're basically saying if you struggle with any of these things, ADHD, synesthesia, autism spectrum disorder, have difficulty developing all of your creative talents, if any of this sounds like you, listen to this. So you can see it's kind of a two-part headline. You have number one up there is your creativity blocked? And this is kind of like number two down here. My problem with the headline as it currently stands is your headline is the kind of thing where you need to be right in the mind of your target audience. And I don't think that your target audience wakes up and thinks, man, it just stinks that I have ADHD, synesthesia, autism spectrum disorder, and difficulty developing my creative talents, right? I think up top is your creativity blocked? I think is a good starting point. It's good, not great, right? But if you're wondering what your people are waking up thinking, oh man, they wake up and think, if I'm an artist, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, man, it just really stinks that I'm having such a difficulty developing all of my creative talents. That's probably just not the right wording, right? And as you read on, for those of you guys who are watching at home, essentially, right? This is very close and personal to Coco. This is part of your story that you found out that you struggled with synesthesia, and I'm not actually 100% sure I'm saying that right, but have autism, ADHD. So these things are very personal to you, and I think they make a lot more sense after you read the story. But kicking off with this is probably a step too far. And I think this is the kind of thing that's not probably going on in the mind of your people right this second, right? So if I was going to just shoot from the hip and say something like, okay, I'm talking to artists, what am I going to promise them, right? Well, how about, let me show you 3 ways to completely block out, your creative boundaries, or, here's how to just get past writer's block. Here's how to get, be in the zone here's how to get, your best creativity out of yourself every single day. Things like that. I think what instead of your audience is probably not thinking, I'm having difficulty developing my creative talents. They're probably saying words more like, man, I just wish I was at my peak creativity. I'll just write the word create. Sorry, this mouse writing is never that conducive. I wish I was at my peak creativity, my maximum creativity for 8 hours a day. I wish I could just get back into that space. I think a headline that centers more around something like this, something that your audience is currently thinking right now, and you can tie in all of this other stuff about how ADHD, synesthesia, autism has affected you in your story down here. I think it fits really well. But as a headline, as a sub-headline, I think it's a step too far. So right off the bat, I think I would eliminate a lot of this vertical space. I think I would make this physically shorter. I think I would get rid of this image. I just don't really think it's doing you much good, and it's huge. It's taking away time from people being able to get into the meat of what you actually want to do, which is rework this to talk more about getting back to being really creative all the time, getting more creativity out of your day, right? I think you do a really, really good job of talking about some of that stuff further down the page, and I think you should imbue it into your headline. I think is going to be really cool. So awesome. With that, moving on. Awesome picture view. I love that. Obviously, anytime it's kind of like, you're an author of a book or something like that, it's like, who are you? What is your expertise? I think that's really, really cool. And I think, just big smiling face, you're holding an award, like all of this is choice. Your story is really, really awesome. I think you did such a good job here. This is the story for those of you guys not paying attention or maybe don't have the one-page blueprint that members of our one-page masterclass have. A story is where you are going to connect with your audience. You're going to show them that you understand their big problem. You can, a lot of times this is, you can bring emotion into the story and things like that. And so, Coco basically tells this story about, hey, I think you're dyslexic. That's a funny word to have said like that, and should be tested. And she found out I was not only dyslexic, right? I had ADHD, synesthesia. Again, I'm not saying that right. I'm not sure. And I was, I found out all these things were holding me back. And I think that's such a cool part of the story. And it's very appropriate to talk about down here, right? But I don't think as a headline, I think that you could probably do better than that. I think it's a little too specific to you to use kind of in your headline. But anyway, all of this stuff, very, very good. You continue on with the story and you talk about how, different, whatever. You go through this, I think, very, very well. And you originally then come to time to introduce yourself. My name is Coco Alicius, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right either, but and I am a musician, an actress, a poet, a screenwriter, voiceover artist, doula, makeup artist, podcast creator, lightweight photographer, and visual artist. I was on Empire. I've been in video games like Saints Row, all these things. This is so cool. This is authority. Okay, you are at this point now. Why should someone be listening to you? And you have transitioned into that brilliantly. I think you do such a good job here, and people should take note of that. I also would say that I think you should find ways for things like, you were on Empire. Show yourself in a studio. Like throw a picture in here, of I don't know what to say. I don't know exactly what your picture might show, right? But these are the kind of things that I think this authority that you're doing would become so much even more powerful if you were able to visually show it, right? So show you in a professional recording studio doing these things. But you do such a good job if you're talking to an audience of people who are creative, right? Actors, musicians, all this stuff. I mean, you just nail it. And just over and over again, look at all these different ways that I am a professional creative, right? And that's awesome. I think this is really, really great. So I think authority-wise, you do a great job. I think you should find ways to put some more pictures kind of interstrewn. That's not really a word, but anyway, strewn about kind of in this bigger wall of text area to kind of drive home some of that authority, I think would be super, super cool. Okay, so moving down the page, here's another example, right? Here's how I won this creativity, this creativity tool helped me compose music that garnered a Jeff Award, which I'm not familiar with what a Jeff Award is, but I'm sure your audience is, which is great. The only problem I have with this is that the picture of the Jeff Award is down here, and I think it belongs probably back up here, right? Where it's kind of like, hey, look, this is the award that I got. That to me would kind of drive it home. But I think it's very good. I think authority-wise, again, you're doing a very, very good job. And then you introduce the product. Very good job here. You have the picture of your book way down the page. I think I would take this right here where the award is, and I would put it up the page where you talk about the award, and I would bring the picture of the, the book, the cover of the book, and put it right here. So it's kind of like you're saying, this is the multi-genre artist creativity tool workbook, right? But clearly the picture here is like, wait, that's not a workbook. That's kind of what people are thinking, You basically just want to eliminate confusion. Your whole page, if you're going to sell on one page, your whole job is to just eliminate confusion in any way, shape, or form. And this is a great way to do it, right? When you're introducing your product, whatever it is, that's why we recommend, if it's an ebook, make digital covers of it. If it's a product, take really, really nice, high quality pictures of it. If it's a service, put a picture of you with a client or, whatever, because basically you just want to give people, right when you introduce your product, you want to give them a visual and let people kind of anchor what it is that they're buying to reality. When you just give people just text and say, hey, look, this is what I'm selling you, you're kind of leaving it up to the imagination as to what someone's actually thinking, right? What are they picturing in their head? But that's why you throw in pictures like this, bring your ebook up, put it right here, because it's just anchoring it home, right? This is what it is. You're getting this book, here it is, here's a picture of it, it just eliminates confusion. A confused mind does not buy, right? There's a nice one. Write that one down, everybody. A confused mind does not buy. And so that's really our job as salespeople. You know what I mean? This is, you guys, everyone who's going through this course, you guys are all creatives. You guys are all, passionate product owners and product creators. You guys, now your job is to flex these sales and marketing muscles, right? That are kind of, sometimes can be a little painful, especially when we're just starting out. But everything should be about eliminating confusion. So next down the page, here's what you'll discover. Everyone should be taking notes on what Coco did right here. You absolutely crushed it. Here's what you'll discover. This is where we talk about, in the one-page masterclass, we talk about the idea, we call it future pacing. Future pacing. And I'm going to write this one out because it's worth it. Future pacing is, you are not telling someone what they're going to get. If you were selling a car, this is not the place where you're going to say the car is red and it has, 6 wheels and it goes from, 0 to 60 miles an hour in, 4.2 seconds or so, whatever. That's not what the here's what you discover section is about. Future pacing is about telling someone what they're going to feel, what they're going to discover, what they're going to experience, and what they're not going to worry about, and what, things like that when after they buy your product, service, your good, whatever it is. So let's read one of these. Here's what you'll discover. Your internal negative dialogue is running in the background so that you can transform into positive affirmations. So I'm going to tell you, you have negative dialogue going around. It's holding back your creativity. I'm going to help you flip it on its head and turn it into positive affirmations. As a creative, oh my gosh, how could you not suffer from doubt and want those thoughts to turn positive, right? Crushed it. Awesome job. How to create a room, home, or office, an ideal creative space, into an ideal creative space that fosters creativity each and every time you sit down to create. Whoa. Killer. So good, Coco, right? I want that, because that's that, we talked about your headline before. Here's your headline. How to foster creativity every time you sit down to do it. Because that's the problem, right? The problem, I imagine, and again, I'm not a creative, but your people are sitting down and thinking, oh gosh, I just wish every time I was in my chair, right, that I was just flowing with my best stuff. I was just absolutely spitting it. And so that's a killer thing. That's what you discover, right? The 3 critical components to a creative session that yields creative productivity. That's what people want. I want every time. I don't want wasted time and energy sitting down and I'm not in my creative mind space. That's what I want to do, right? And you just crushed it. Here's what you'll discover. Coco, a absolute 10 out of 10. I think you did so good here. So great job on that. As we move down, this next section, this is the opposite. I really don't care for this one. So forgive me if this is a little blunt, but essentially you are using, for those of you guys who are not familiar, this is third-party proof is what we talk about, right? This is the kind of thing where when you don't have customers or something like that, right? A lot of times we talk about find popular quotes from other people, find research studies, find, even videos or something about from stuff out there that support your hypothesis, right? So for Coco here, we're talking to creatives and we're trying to say okay, listen, if you guys can be more creative and get more out of yourself, you know what I mean? Those things are possible. And so, Coco, we're using some quotes that look like, maybe there were just images pulled from Instagram or something, or basically just popular quotes that might appeal to an artist, right? But I just think they're not quite doing what you need them to do here. And as you guys can see, there's too many of them. Creativity is the single most important skill in the world. Cool. You're good. Julie Cameron, workaholism is not a block, it's a building block. Good quotes, perfectly fine quotes. Recruiters rank creative problem solving as the second most difficult skill to find among job applicants. I thought this is probably the best because it's like business week. It's kind of like a somewhat, I don't know. It's not just like some floofy quote. It's like we value creativity is valuable in the world. And if you guys can become more creative, then you are more valuable. That's kind of what you're communicating. So I like this one, but some of the other ones you'll see it just kind of keeps going. There's simply too many of them. You really don't need this many. The first three in particular are pretty floofy and not really supporting your argument. They're not really helping what you're trying to say here. They're just kind of like fun quotes that an artist might share on Instagram, which is fine, but they probably are not doing you any favors. So next is kind of like where you outline your offer. Here's everything you get. I think, again, you do a really good job. Module number 1, changing the inner dialogue, right? And you do a great job. All this is really, really, really well done. And let me just keep scrolling here. Module number 2, I'll just put this underneath. Obstacle destruction and goal setting. I love that word. Obstacle destruction, right? I'm not just going to teach you how to move past your obstacles. It's like obstacle destruction. Like you are going to, they're going to be gone. They're out of your life. They're destroyed. It's wonderful kind of strong terminology. I think you did a really good job there. People are going to read this and think, oh my gosh, I need this, right? That's what you want. You want creative, unique words, unique descriptions of what you're offering. And I think you did a great job here. And so we'll just skip down to the creativity planner. This is, I believe you said this is one of your bonuses, free gift. Anyway, it's not. It's one of the free gifts is down below. This is kind of strange because, again, the image doesn't really match what you're saying over here on the right. So if it's a creativity planner, I would expect, I don't know, this is really just some work of art, which is, it's nice and it's pretty, right? But I think you should find a different image or find a way to display what you're offering here that ties a little bit more closely to the image. I think would be really, really strong. I think that would be good. You offer a guarantee, which is crazy. Awesome. Good job. Really like that. Of course, the bonus that you offer here, again, there's really no, the inspiration tracker, and you kind of mark that it's a PDF. That's fine. This guide helps you record valuable insights when implementing new practices outside of the box. It's all yours free of charge. That's all good. The text is fine. I do think you probably need an image. I would encourage you to go get something that's going to show someone visually. It's the same conversation we had before, right? Where someone, if you're telling someone what they get, you're leaving it up to their imagination to see what it is in their brain. And maybe it's cool, maybe it's not, right? But this is your chance to show somebody something. You should put an image right here that is the inspiration tracker, or just even someone just writing in a notebook or something. Can it can be a stock image or something like that. That's all fine. But I think it will help tremendously. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You do a great job with the rest and everything, of course, then down here where it's Samcart. So this is, now it's time to optimize the sale and close everything. Number 4, the fourth thing that I want to touch on is definitely design. So we talked about before, some of these things are just huge, right? And we just want to kind of clean some of this up. You can make this headline, probably could fit all in one line, and would just bring some of the more important stuff that's down below up here. This image is fine by itself, but it's certainly taking up way, way, way too much space. What's important on your page is not images like this, but it's words. It's this stuff here. This is what's going to actually do the job of selling your stuff. So as you move down the page, just I would make some of this text smaller. This whole thing here probably only needs to be like 2 lines, not 5. So you can just tighten some of that up inside of the content builder. I think obviously we have a lot of color and things as we go through here, which is fine. But I think a lot of times when you jump from like green to blue to purple, it's just distracting. And I don't think you need it. I think you can, with just kind of the one green background, some of these purple bars are cool and kind of just, giving people ideas of this section is over and now we're moving into something else. I think that's all well and good. I would do away with some of these other colors. It's just a lot, right? You can be branded and you can match, stuff that you like without being kind of too crazy here. So one of the things I'm going to talk about also, and let me come ahead, this is inside of Samcart. I'm going to talk about how to edit for mobile, right? So if I come in here and I'll just do some quick, some handy dandy work to see show you everybody what this looks like on an iPhone X, right? On an iPhone X, Samcart out of the box looks pretty dang good on mobile, right? As I scroll down the page, of course, what do you see? right? Like this text is huge. It's way, way, way too big, right? So maybe we'll go into the mobile editing and change some of that. I think this looks great. This single column looks so good. The text, you did a great job. But again, as we keep scrolling down the page, some of these line breaks are a little strange, but the nice part is with Samcart, you guys can edit the mobile design, especially with text size and things like that, while leaving your normal page design as is. So there was a couple down here. So yeah, some of these are really big down here at the bottom. So let me show you how to do that. You can come into Samcart, you pick your templates here, of course, you already have yours picked, I'm not gonna change it, and then come down into this box right here, you're gonna launch the content editor. And so up here at the top, I'm going to switch from the desktop view to the mobile view, right? And if I come here and just click on your headline, you're going to see a text size, but now you're also going to see a mobile text size. And so just as an example, if I wanted to take this down to, let's take it down to like 25. I can make this thing a little smaller, right? I could do the same thing with this text right here. I could say the mobile text size currently is, it's like 16. So maybe we'll take that down to like 12, right? And it's going to get a little smaller. And I'll discard these changes, Coco. I'm not going to save any of these changes. But some of these headlines that are just really, really, really big, right? Maybe I'll take the mobile text size down to like 22 and see what happens. That looks a little cleaner, right? I'm taking up less space. You can do the same thing here. Change mobile text sizes, change up with the mobile editing thing inside of Samcart. Really powerful, a lot you can do with it. Again, I'm just gonna hit the draft button and discard these. So it's back to how you had it. Don't let me change anything. You can decide what you wanna do here. But I definitely wanna point out that mobile design, it's super, super important for you guys. Obviously, mobile traffic is a really, really big deal. So let me go back to responsive view and close this editor here. Yeah, so now the next thing is kind of like, okay, where do we go from here, right? Where do I go from here? My next thing is I would want to add an order bump, right? An order bump is a really powerful feature inside of Samcart. You have a chance to offer somebody like another product, and they click on one button, and you can take someone from like a $27 customer to maybe the order bump is another $27. Maybe the order bump is another $10. Maybe it's another $100, right? But if you have 10 customers, right? Our math tells us that probably 4 or 5 of them are ready to spend more money, are ready to spend more than $27. And so, 3, 4, 5 people, if you put the right thing there, will be ready to spend more money with you. And then next after that it's a one-click upsell, right? True one-click upsells. And we can demo that some other time, but you guys can Google that, Samcart one-click upsells. You guys will see a super, super powerful feature that's going to help you make more money from these customers. Also, I want to make sure that you guys are engaging your prospects, right? So the people who come in here, and by the way, since we started this video, Coco, I noticed that you got a few more sales, which is super exciting. Congratulations, you're really rolling with this. But we have a whole nother video here on YouTube actually about prospects, and you guys should absolutely be engaging. Your prospects are people who start placing their order, but then leave without ever buying. And you can engage your prospects. You can use Samcart's integration rules to send them off and trigger off like email follow-up emails or even like text messages. And I'm going to do a really poor job of like a iPhone here. This is supposed to be like an iPhone, but you could be texting people. That says SMS. I apologize for that. But you can be texting people and reaching out to your prospects, bringing them back to place their order, offering coupon codes or offering special bonuses. Like, definitely check out that YouTube video that maybe we can link to down below this video or something. But it's right here. Just look, Google Samcart prospects or something, and you can learn all about that feature. But that's what we do, right? So now you have this group of customers who are buying this thing. So be thinking about what's next. What could I offer them as an order bump? What else could I offer maybe as a one-click upsell? Am I reaching out to my prospects to be bringing more sales back? All these things, super exciting problems to have though, right? This is all super well and good. But Coco, I think you've done a really, really good job. Congratulations for someone who is starting out. I think you've done really, really well. You should be super proud of what you have here, super proud of the idea that you've created a page that sells, right? As long as this page exists, you have a chance of bringing in new customers. Like, how exciting is that? This page, once it's like dialed in and it's there, you don't really change these things that much, right? It can just sit on your WordPress site. It can sit in your social media profiles. You can share it with people, on different Facebook groups. You can do all of these different things. And it sits here and it can just bring you new customers, right? Who can turn into clients of higher price stuff, or they can buy other stuff that you create. I mean, there's just so many opportunities when you have customers to what to do next. So, Coco, super proud of the work you've done here. Super proud. I've seen the hard work you've put in with the Facebook group. So really, really excited about that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been another episode of One Page Wednesday. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching this episode of One Page Wednesday. If you would like to simplify how you sell online and join the 10,000 plus businesses that have used Samcart to sell more than $1 billion of their own products, goods, and services online, then head over to samcart.com and get your live demo today. You can talk with a real member of our team and get answers about how Samcart can help you. Or if you're not much of a people person, don't worry, there's a recorded version for you as well. But head over to samcart.com and grab a live demo of Samcart today to get started.